Guys, what up? Total Control 871. I guess I'll probably start with today's headline. So we got a little bit of headline news going on here. All right, and the headline is coming from 6ABC. Have difficulty pronouncing this guy's last name without saying the whole name. Colin Kaepernick. Alright, so you know what I'm talking about. Colin Kaepernick tells CBS. Okay, so this is 6ABC reporting on something CBS has reported. Kaepernick tells CBS he'll stand during national anthem. Quarterback Colin Kaepernick, it's a funny name, has told CBS that he would stand during the national anthem if given a chance to play football in the NFL again. According to a report by Jason LaCanfora, where do these people get these names? LaCanfora, on Sunday, Kaepernick has been living in New York and working out privately in New Jersey with the hope of signing with a team this season. Kaepernick kneeled during the national anthem last season to bring more attention to the killing of black men by police officers. The protest spread this season after the former San Francisco 49er was unable to sign on another team. The issue has grown with this season as Seattle Seahawks defensive end Michael Bennett recently said he was racially profiled by Las Vegas police during a confrontation, and President Trump aggressively chastised players and owners for protesting during the anthem. So that's basically our article. So Kaepernick caved, and racial profiling is extremely real by black people, although not every last single shooting is a product of racial profiling. There's a whole bunch I could say about that. I believe we just had, oh God, what was this? Hold on a second, this phone just vibrated. I want to make sure I'm still recording. Okay. Alright, it's still recording. Oh shit, I can't remember. What is it, LA or something like that? A Hispanic dude. He called the police himself. He's drunk, he smoked a bunch of God knows what, calls the police, tells the 911 operator he's got a gun. So the police, they come, it ends up with dude being shot and killed. There's video footage of him, you know, with both hands out, you know, and they're still screaming for him to drop the gun. The video isn't terribly the most clear. Maybe there was a gun in his hand and maybe there wasn't, so I really can't comment too further on that. My point in saying that is that I really do believe your Black Lives Matter and a bunch of other groups, they need to start picking and choosing a little bit better as to who they protest, and you know, because let's just be real. Some of these people out there, they are begging for it, you know, and then there are some that did not deserve it. Again, a black guy, Utah, if I'm not mistaken, out there in Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah police. He goes to be arrested. He had felony warrants, and he goes to break loose and make a dash for it. He's running away at this point, and he ends up getting gunned down and killed. Now, there is allegedly he had a gun, excuse me, not a gun, but a knife, and threatened the police officers. Again, in the video that was played, I didn't see any of this. If it's there, you know, I'm sure you have resources to enhance, you know, sound mix the audio. Show it to me, play it for me, let me see it, let me hear it, okay? Because I'm not knee-jerk, and I'm not just simply going to jump on Black Lives Matter's side just for kicks and giggles. If it's there, then it's there. But if not, then, you know, as the old saying goes, call an ace a ace and a spade a spade. Alright, so I said all that to kind of say this, that today's would-be protesters, we're seeing more and more that they have an incredible lack of resolve. It just simply isn't the way it used to be. We saw how the millennials caved, you know, Occupy Wall Street. Their protests lasted as long as their lithium batteries and their laptops and mobile devices. Their protests lasted for as long as their lattes, their $5 lattes were hot, you know. And it begs the question, when you patron these moguls, these tech giants, these coffee houses, outrageously overpriced coffee houses, does it occur to you that you are adding to the problem of this ridiculously gentrified nation, you know, this gentrified economy, you know? The economy is becoming increasingly gentrified. Wage gaps are just simply outrageous. In the news again, Target by 2020 is to raise its minimum wage to $15 an hour. Woo! I think when I started working at Target in 2005, I was hired in at $8 and change. When I left in 2015, was it? Not 15. I forget the exact year. But when I left, I was making like $10.50 or some shit like that, or $10. I don't know. $15 an hour would have been fantastic. But unfortunately, by 2020, it's going to be too little, too late. If I'm not mistaken, the fight for 15, it's either getting bumped or it needs to be bumped. I believe Representative Elizabeth Warren, she was already pursuing something like a $21 or a $22 an hour minimum. Back then when she was chasing it, I thought that was just a little high, Elizabeth. You know, let's calm the fuck down a little bit. But years later, yes, the inflation is just simply outrageous. What I'm saying is that in 2020, all of your real estate landlords will be licking their chops waiting for this $15 an hour, you know, because as soon as you get this into your paycheck, rest assured, when you go to sign your lease renewal, you're going to see a significant increase in your rent. Mark my words, if you remember nothing else from today's blog, remember this: when that minimum wage starts heading toward $15 an hour, your big oil, they are going, because they have to ask Congress for their ability to raise their rates. The electric company, big oil, rest assured, you are going to see it in the news that they're making their requests. You know, well, if everybody's getting paid so much more, well, then we can charge so much more. So yeah, that's what's going to happen. The middle class, the low wage earner, the proletariat, there will be no relief for us whatsoever. There will only be an increase into the moguls, the titans of Wall Street. Things are going to get even better for them, unless you have some sort of it's like I want to say rent control across the board, but of course that's never going to happen. It's a capitalistic society. Government can't tell us what we can charge for our products, etc., etc. So, let's see. What else? Yeah, getting back to Kaepernick. No resolve. This person is a complete flake. He caved in, and he's really making himself look bad. I'm sure he empathizes. I'm sure he has a lot of concern for the racial profiling and the killings and whatnot. The unjustified killings, you know, that go uncharged, you know, unpunished. But at this point, you're just doing more harm to the movement than anything else. You're a flake. Thank God Martin Luther King had more resolve than you. Thank God Alice Paul, Susan B. Anthony, and all the other women's suffragists had more resolve than you. And you know what? While I'm talking about that, think about that shit for a minute. Because these were not hardened women. These iron jaw angels, they were not hardened women. These women came from privilege. A lot of them, not all, but a lot of them came from privilege. Middle class. Like I said, the fines that were imposed upon them, they could have easily paid it 100 times over. But they knew, they had a vision for what they wanted. Equality, and there will be no sacrifice. There will be no caving. There will be no, okay, I did it this year, but I really want to get back to my game. Okay? For them, there is only one outcome, one viable outcome. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You. How much ghetto, how hard, how hip-hop are you? Okay? How much rap music do you listen to? How gangster is your car and shit, your SUV or whatever the fuck you drive around in? How gangster is that shit? When you have these middle-class women that look like they stepped off the set of a Lifetime movie, okay? They've got more heart. They've got more resolve. They know what has to be done, and they're not afraid to do it. And that's exactly why I need to do what I have to do. I understand that cyclists are going to continue to be killed unless somebody takes a stand. There will be no wilting. There will be no whimpering. There will be no compromise. Total Control 871.